Okay guys, so we've been doing these Patreon exclusive episodes for a couple months now, and we decided that we want to start dropping the older ones so that you guys see what we're doing over there on patreon.com/nojumper and onlyfans.com/nojumper. So here, check out this one. We dropped it a few months ago. It's heavily censored, but we're dropping a new episode every week. Let's get into it. No Jumper, coolest Patreon in the world. And today, we're in here with Jenna. How you doing, Jenna?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Are you a little nervous?
A little.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I caught the vibe.
I've done this is the first thing like social media person that I've been with. I've done TV stuff and
oh wow.
Yeah, like TV stuff and then like comedians and streamers, but nothing like this before, so it's a first for me.
Okay, I'm not a social media person. I'm a rap person.
Well,
Yeah.
but you're more like, on.
We're social media people for sure.
Are you more nervous now or the first time you got naked on camera?
I think now. I mean,
Really?
being naked on camera isn't a big deal. I mean, I don't think so.
Yeah, because you started out doing it in your room, recorded with the phone. It's low pressure, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I feel okay. Never mind. I take my question back now.
Yeah.
I gotta think about it.
Wait, what did you do on TV?
I did two documentaries.
Really?
Yeah, and then super recently I did The View for Ireland.
Oh wow.
I did that, and then I think there was another one that I did.
So they have The View in every different country?
I think it was like The View. It was like
but it
the
wasn't
Elaine
named The
show.
View?
No.
If
It was
they
like
have-
their view.
If they have The View Nigeria, that'd be lit.
Can you speak Ireland? What
Irish.
Irish. Oh. Can you speak Mexican? Can you speak Irish?
No, that's a real language though.
No, it's not.
It isn't?
No, they did it in English.
So what were the names of the documentaries that you previously appeared on?
I think Love Don't Judge.
Okay.
I think that was one of them. The other one, I have no clue.
Mm-hmm.
They just paid you?
No, actually, no.
It's
I
just
did
exposure?
it. Yeah, well, I did it. It was fun. And
What are you laughing at?
Yeah.
It's exposure, you cunt.
I know, but on TV, you know how much money they make?
Nah.
Yes.
I mean, she probably could have asked for money, but
Okay.
a lot of money might have been a couple $1,000.
yeah,
You know?
Yeah, I mean, it was fun to do, and I'm still new, so I don't think that I have kind of a.
A budget?
Yeah, I don't think right now because everything is just still so fresh and new.
In the beginning, it's all about exposure.
Yeah,
Facts.
and I'm not looking for anything like that because then once I don't know, I kind of pick and choose what I want to do right now. So
Okay, so where are you from, and tell us a little bit about your early life before all this madness.
So I'm from Texas. I'm from Austin.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Keep Austin weird.
Yes, absolutely. I'm kind of the face of that right now.
That's true. You're definitely keeping Austin weird. Weirder than probably a lot of people know.
Fucking super weird.
Growing
Fuck.
No fucking fetish shaming, bro.
I'm not fetish shaming.
Don't fetish shame.
I don't fetish shame. I don't at all because I'm pretty sure everybody likes weird shit.
So
But
one day we're gonna find out what your fetishes are.
I think I have a super active one. Not as active as hers, but continue. Austin, keep Austin check.
We're gonna find out one day.
yeah, I grew up around that area and I don't know, early life, are you talking about dog stuff or just
Let's just stick to pre-dog stuff for this part of the conversation. When did the dog thing start to become a thing?
So it's really funny when I told my parents that I was doing this, they were not surprised at all.
Really?
They were like, yeah, no shit. Because, when I was a kid, I used to play, pretend I was a dog. I would play with our dog growing up, just roughhouse and they would throw me balls too, along with the dog. The dog and I would go chase after them. And then I begged my parents to walk me out on a leash outside. So I kind of acted like a dog. And it got to a point where they were like, Jenna, when are you going to grow out of this? And
What age are we talking though when you were kind of doing these dog-like things?
I was young. I was really young. And it wasn't anything sexual. It was just because it was fun.
Oh, no, yeah, I feel it. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I pretended to be the monster ones or the
Oh, I
dog.
pretend to be all kinds of stupid things to
Yeah.
entertain my kid and my nephews and
Yeah,
shit.
for
but-
sure. But I don't think I ever told my mom like, "Oh, mom, put me on a leash and walk me through the hood."
Yeah, I think that was kind of. I mean, for me, you know.
How old were
like,
you? Like, can you remember? Like,
I remember that. I probably like 8, 9, maybe.
Okay.
But
You're older already.
it got to a point where it was like, Jenna, when are you gonna grow out of this? And then I just never did. And then like all throughout like middle school and high school, like I wouldn't like, you know, wear ears and tails to school and bark at people. Like I felt, I knew it was weird, and so I kind of, you know, kept to myself and
Yeah, 'cause
whatever.
when you're like 12, 13, going through puberty, I mean, there's like intense societal pressure to conform. Like even
Yeah.
just like making out with a girl is like the most awkward fucking thing in the world when you're like 12, 13. I mean,
were you the weird one in school? Like, and like,
No, I wasn't popular, but I kind of kept under the radar. I really focused on my studies and, you know,
and for being a dog.
yeah, no, I didn't focus on that at that point in time. I just thought it was weird. And like, I was like, why do I like feel like, I don't know. It just like seemed so much fun. And like, I don't want to like go to a 9 to 5 job every day and come home, cook dinner and like, you know, play with the kids. Like I was like, this seems like so bad.
but when
like
it was
work
like
for someone.
lurking around in the back of your head when you're like, you know, 13 and you're kind of you were trying to like push it down into the back of your brain, right? Because you just kind of want to fit in and want to be a normal kid and stuff. But like, was it like really like sort of haunting you? Like, would you like just kind of think about it when you like masturbated or when you thought about sex stuff? Would it like the dog thing just sort of resonate in your head?
Not really. It wasn't like something that I was like actively struggling with, because I knew that it made me happy and kind of just like character play and like kind of role play and stuff, and so I figured that might be what it is. I had a really close connection with my dog growing up, so I'm thinking that's probably what it was. But I kind of, you know, just went to school and it wasn't something I was like actively struggling with or anything. But yeah, whenever I graduated a year early, and so
you're really smart.
I don't like to say that, but like, yeah, I'm pretty smart.
Because he graduated like 4 years late.
Fuck no, I got you. But did he ever think like, oh, maybe I don't want to bark at people, but maybe save dogs, like become a vet?
Yeah, so I did.
Okay.
I did like an internship at a vet like near my house for a summer, and that was super fun. I did everything from grooming to boarding to like surgery. I was like in the surgery room, and I saw a lot of really crazy stuff, and I was like, man, I really, really like this. So if I didn't do what I do now, I would probably, I wanted to be in the medical field in some way, but I found I had a lot of jobs in like human medical field, and it's awful. Like the bureaucracy of it, and like
Really?
That's a big
can't-
word.
Yeah, like
Dumb it down a little bit for him. Explain it like you're talking to a fourth grader.
it's very political. Like,
Oh, okay.
I
That was
yeah.
a big ass fucking word.
It's not really.
That
but-
shit threw me off. Spell it. Exactly.
Don't spell it.
Bro, I was like, what the fuck?
Okay.
It's not fun.
I love that you're derailing the conversation
Yeah.
for bureaucracy. Okay. But okay, go on.
Yeah, no, so yeah, it's not fun at all. Like it's all about money and politics and stuff. So I really thought about eventually, you know, maybe going back to school and maybe doing something in like animal, you know, because animals are my life. I love them so much, and I think it's really unfortunate that, you know, it's just weird that you can go and like pick up a dog or like a cat or something and like have no idea of how to take care of it, or like an exotic animal. Like these like animals are so like fragile, and it's like, so I don't know, I would love to like save and help them. But yeah, that was kind of the direction that I wanted to go
Right.
into.
Okay. But you never got to actually, I thought you were going to say you hated like, you know, dealing with bodies and like the grossness of it. You didn't really get to that point?
No, I mean, I dealt with a lot of like, I had to clean up after them. I did like a lot of the low level work because I was, you know, interning or
Yeah,
whatever.
fair.
But even that, it didn't really bother me, because it's like they're like children, and you
Right.
know, and you like love them, and you know, they can't take care of themselves, so you kind of have to, you know, pick it up for them. But and even like I remember the one of the wild ones that I can talk about. They these two dogs were fighting at home, and one of them popped one of the other's eye out, like completely out. It was hanging from the optic nerve. Yeah, it was crazy. So we had to, I got to help on this one. We had to like push it in as far as it could go.
So they saved the eye.
Yeah, they
good.
saved it eye. Yeah, you had to like push it in as far as it could go, and then like sew the eyelid shut. And I got to do a couple sutures, which was pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah, like the gross stuff doesn't really like bother me at all.
You know, it's, when I think about how you had this super close relationship with your dog as a young kid, and that might have sort of impacted you in terms of what you're into. Like, I never had a pet my whole fucking life. And then finally when I was like 22, 23, I got a cat, and I became like the most obsessed with cats like grown man you've ever met in your life, just because I like all of a sudden was introduced to like how great it is to have a pet.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I didn't get that like when I was little. Like all of a sudden it was all new to me at like 22, 23.
Yeah, I had kind of a not bad relationship, but I would say like kind of strained with my parents. They were very, very busy, and I didn't really. My dog was always there for me.
And then you're like an introvert or no?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
your dog is like best friend. Come watch a movie with me.
Exactly.
While you eat, you feed him while you're eating, like off your plate.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So
that
like,
is some white people shit.
Like, it's
because goddamn, bro, if I ever had a dog and I was eating like a taco and I gave some of the taco to my dog, my mom would be like, "Me fucking giving that dog taco. Has food over there."
Well, you ever go to Mexico? They don't really treat their dogs as nice as they do in America.
In Mexico, they run in packs, food. They're like,
I know, you see dogs everywhere. It's crazy.
They probably eat dogs soon.
It's a different standard, you know? Yeah.
It's crazy.
Okay, but so when did it start to kind of click in your head that maybe you had like a fetish for this kind of thing? Did you like read something online or see something on TV that sort of like sparked this, or how did it start to click?
So actually, when I was like 18, I went to a
fucking Cesar Millan event. I'm just kidding.
I love.
You know who Cesar Millan is?
No, what the fuck is
the dog whisperer.
I was more of a Victoria Stillhouse.
I just know Cesar Millan because of South Park, but
I loved all those shows growing up. But I went to a rope convention. So
Rope gang?
I have a. There's plenty of like, this is like my main one because this is my lifestyle. But there are a lot of other like kinks and fetishes that I really am into. And one of the earliest ones that I found out was like bondage and especially rope. And so I went to a rope convention and I met a couple of puppies. And so we were talking.
And that's what you call people who are into what you're into?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like they were into pet play, which is like the umbrella term. But they were specifically puppies. That's what they kind of like most identified as. I don't know. But we got to talking and I was like, man, like these people, like I think a lot of the same ways. And like they were talking about like the comforts and the security and like the love that is there. And if you think about like your cat, you like fell in love with it and like it's just always there for you. It's something that you can protect and that you can cherish and hold, and it's like a very special bond. That's kind of the thing that I chase after, and that's what they were kind of explaining. And I was like, man, I really like this. So I had a friend and I kind of experimented a little bit because he was in the kink world too in Austin and or in San Antonio. So I kind of experimented a little bit with like obedience training and like kind of being treated like a dog, and I never looked back. I felt so in my element and so loved and so special, even though it wasn't like a love relationship between us. Like he was a friend and then I cared about him, but like, man, like it made me feel some type of way.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy.
That's awesome.
And when you guys get into this, you go like full on dog mode. Like I'm talking about like all right, so the puppies, right? The people were puppies. They're considered like baby dogs, right? Are they like sitting everywhere on purpose? No, I'm asking because you guys.
No, yeah.
Okay.
That's a good question. Do they take it that far?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Do you guys take it that far to where like they're gonna like fucking shit everywhere, eat everything off the floor? Like
if you really think about it, dogs do a lot of wild stuff.
That's what I'm saying.
So
like lick each other's butts and shit.
Well, humans do that too.
There's like a
Adam, yes, you're one of the ones, Adam. Very open with your butt getting eaten.
Yeah.
Yeah. They so there's a lot of like, I don't know, like etiquette. So puppy play like was derived from the gay leather scene. So that's where it derived from. So there's not a lot of like female pups. Like girls, when they do pet play, they usually do like bunnies or kittens or foxes, like cute, like you
Like
know,
sexy
super
shit.
cute. Yeah.
Okay.
And so whenever I found out, I was kind of sad that there wasn't like a lot of like other girl pups. But there's so since it came from that scene, the leather scene is extremely like, depending on how much you're into it, there's a lot of rules. So I don't know a lot of the rules when it comes to that. I don't think that like fluid play would be part of it whenever you're in like a scene. But at home, it's kind of your own like, everyone has a different dynamic. So some people only do it in the bedroom. Some people don't do it in the bedroom at all. Some people, you know, it just kind of like depends on like your owner or your partner and you to kind of like figure that stuff out. I don't do scat play at all. I don't like it.
Respect.
But
Was that
like shit.
Poop stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
So,
Oh,
like,
yeah, that's not.
We,
so
we
I
don't either.
Yeah, we don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't do shit that gives you bumps.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but,
we don't do
but
that.
like Europlay or like pee stuff, like I'm super into. And so that's like stuff that I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, in terms of like the obedience side of things, like what would you say that you feel like that really fulfills for you? Like what is it that you feel in that moment when you have somebody sort of bossing you around and making you act a certain way? A lot of women hear that and they're probably like, this is the last thing I would ever want.
Yeah, well, I think it definitely has to come from someone who I have some sort of relationship with.
Okay.
Either if it's just like a play, you know, like if we have a dynamic where it's like, okay, like I'm giving you this control to say or do these things to me, like I ultimately have the control because I could get up and leave whenever I want, you know.
Okay.
It's like it's that sort of like control dynamic.
So
but,
you wouldn't want to be like tied up to the point where you like really couldn't move?
well, if that was my dynamic, like if I felt
Right.
I've been, you know, that's happened to me and I've had a really great time doing stuff like that, but it's all about like letting go of like giving, you know, like if like you were my play partner or you were my play partner, I would be like packaging up as this little present and giving it to you and being like, okay, this is what I'm giving you a piece of me, and that's like of control.
Would you go as far as like, let's say I was your owner and I went into a Target and you can't come in? Would you go as far as like letting a partner or somebody tie you outside and you wait as a dog?
I would love that. I would love that. Like legitimately, I would love, because it's all about like the fantasy. Now I try.
Not to do it in public?
It's very like a I don't do anything obscene in public.
Okay, respect.
I don't do anything like crazy where there's people around. Like it's more, if I'm being honest, it's more just kind of like obnoxious than anything, you know, like mild annoyance, you know, like, but I really don't like to, I don't want to be the worst part of someone's day. Like that's awful, you know? I don't know. And like, I don't know. So I try to like, whenever I do like puppy stuff in public, like it's very like, I don't go up to other people. I don't I'm in my own element. And it's wild because I could be out in the middle of Times Square and like, whenever you're in this like headspace, it's like the world dissolves around you.
Really? So you enter into like a completely different mind state when you're
Yeah, so it's like in the kink world, it's called, they have a whole bunch of words for it, but like pup space or like puppy space, but there's also like different, like the most broad I can say is like bottom space and top space. So you kind of enter into this, like, it's like being on drugs. It's wild because it's like everything kind of melts around except for you and your partner. I remember I was at a convention and I do a lot of like heavy impact scenes. So I like to get beat up. And I remember
While being a dog?
Him too. He was in the hospital from last week.
Oh no.
he had just COVID.
He didn't consent. It just happened.
Wait, so but like for you get beat up as like a dog?
No, so that I wasn't like.
I was about to say, is that considered animal abuse?
No, by her partner, as she pretends to be a dog.
Yeah, so I had a play partner with me. We were at a convention and there's tons and tons and tons of people, but we went into this like little, how these conventions usually work is that there's like classes and then there's like how to do X, Y, and Z, or, you know, and then at night there's like a big party and it's called a dungeon event or like a dungeon party.
I believe it's called that. It sounds like
The dungeon. We got to go to the dungeon, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not going to no fucking dungeon.
Oh, I'm pulling up to the dungeon.
But there's like because it was a rope event, like there's a whole bunch of like hard points and like different things like to tie off of, like St. Andrew's crosses and stuff, and little like horses, like where you kneel on and stuff, you know. And so I wanted to do a heavy impact scene, and we ended up doing that. And it was a long scene. Whenever we finished, the entire convention was crowded and like watching us do this scene, and I had no idea.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was wild. Like, it was a really good scene.
Was he like socking you?
I like punches, I like kicks, and I like thud stuff. So like, if the difference between like a punch and a slap, you know how the slap is like kind of stingy, like pins and needles. I like the thud, so I would much rather get like kicked. And yeah, I was kicking the shit out of me. I was so
like
bruised.
A thud, like boom,
Yeah.
but you wouldn't want like the kind of punch that's gonna crack your fucking jaw off, and you gotta go to the hospital,
Yeah.
right?
Well, there's been multiple times where I've done scenes and like I've accidentally got super hurt. That's how I actually figured out that I have TMJ pretty bad. I was doing a grappling scene, and someone kicked me in the face like by accident. Their like foot slipped, and I couldn't open my mouth for 6 months. Like, it was awful.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so I've accidentally like gotten hurt, and you have to be really careful. It's like controlled chaos, because when you're being hit and whenever you're being like whatever, like you can break bones. And the type of play that I really like is kind of really heavy, so you have to be
like,
careful.
Are they like Charlie horsing you, like kicking you in the fucking in the stomach?
Yeah, there's that. One of my favorite like torture things is you're like in a half tie, so one of your feet, like your toes, are on the ground and your other leg is like up in the air, and they wrap, it's called a Guatemalan, they wrap a rope super tight around your calf, and they just like punch the shit out of it, and it hurts so bad, but in like the most amazing way. I don't know.
Wow.
Anyway.
So, okay, question. You're let's just say hypothetically, you're with your partner and he has to run into Target. They don't want to let the girl on the leash who's feeling like she's a dog in, so he ties you up outside. And let's say that, like, you know, a 4-year-old kid like walks up to you like and is like kind of like looking at you and like trying to figure out what's going on. Does the like part of your brain that's like, oh, I want to like explain this to this kid so the kid isn't totally freaked out, does that kick in, or are you so in the zone that you're just like, grr, get away, grr? like are you that in that mentality even when faced with something that's like completely not related to the fetish at all?
So usually you kind of break out when when I'm in public and like my partner isn't there. I'm kind of a little bit more diligent about like how I'm acting. So like if a kid came up to me, I would probably sit on my butt and like just kind of chill, you know, and like I don't really want to, it's like such a touchy subject with kids, because my thing, despite what I do on my website and everything, my like the puppy play isn't sexual. It's a lifestyle, and it's definitely like, it's fun.
Oh, okay.
But I don't growl and bark and, you know, in the bedroom at all.
Okay.
It's more of like a security, a feeling inside. Like, it makes me feel whole. So
would you encourage it to your kids?
I don't think I would encourage
You
it.
can't encourage it, right? You gotta have it in you.
I fully
You
believe.
gotta have the dog in you.
Nothing but
You
the
take that
dog
very-
in me.
She takes that literal, like, not even a quote no more, not even a motivational speech.
Wait, because see, what you don't know probably, because you're a cis Mexican male, Latinx male, is
fuck you,
that this is a whole thing that's going on.
No, I believe it.
No, but with the gay pride parade in New York, it's like a big argument over like, should there be like public kink stuff going on at the gay pride parade, or should it be more like safe for kids? Because like, you know, you have people in all kinds of latex and bondage stuff and doing all this stuff,
Yeah.
and that's it's like a fight for the soul of the gay community, sort of, because it's like, do we want this to be just like a normal thing that obeys all the normal rules of like any other parade you would think of, or should it be something where everybody's just putting their kinks on display?
Yeah,
It's kind of
I
similar,
think it's
right?
yeah, I definitely think I think it's really, I think, because there's so many kinks that aren't inherently sexual.
Right.
It's more of like I was kind of saying, like that power dynamic, or like, you know, I like to get beat because it makes me feel happy and good, not so much like I don't know. There's like a time and a place for different things, you know? So I don't know. So that's kind of, it's pretty hard.
For some guy I went to school with, we were in high school. I remember he used to like getting hit in the balls and shit.
Yeah, CBT.
That's common.
I love that.
What's that shit called? He was a fucking, was that masochist?
Yeah.
When they like getting hit and shit.
Okay.
And he used to like candle shit on his back.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, fool,
I've heard from so many girls that like get into stripping or some shit, and then somehow they just become like, you know, like all of a sudden they're fucking dudes in the ass with strap-ons, and they're shoving shit down their pee holes, and they're stomping on dudes' balls. Like, there's a surprising percentage of dudes who are into this shit.
Yeah, definitely.
that fucking hurts, though.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
They know it hurts.
That shit fucking hurts.
Yeah, but I think a lot of that is not, so I think that there's like a couple different sides to that. There's the giving up of power that some people like, but I think it's a huge misconception that's like all people like, oh yeah, all of these like doctors and lawyers and political people like that because, you know, they have such stressful lives and they can just like hand off their power to it. Like, I think that's true in some cases, but some people just like really like pain, and it's an incredible, I'm going to therapy now to kind of like go through like some of the stuff that like I've, you know, been dealing with growing up and stuff. And I think it's healthy. I think everyone should do it. But before I was able to kind of like regulate my emotions and find out like what's inside, pain was an incredible way for me to deal with emotion. Like, incredible. And it's really great because you're faced with this like crazy amount of like pain or this like huge issue, and you're able to get over it. And that's like one of the most empowering things ever, is that like, oh, like shit, like I did it, like, and I can do it again, and I can do, you know, whatever.
Right.
Yeah. So
Okay, but so I find it very interesting that for the most part, it seems like the dog fantasy stuff is not really like sexual in nature. Like, so it doesn't incorporate to when you actually are alone in the bedroom. Like, would you say that you're into all kinds of different stuff in that regards, or is your standard sexual experience more normal, quote unquote?
yeah, I would say relatively more normal. I think my other kinks have kind of like I really like predator prey, and I like, you know, bondage, and I like I'm a sadomasochist, so I like, you know, like pain and, you know, that stuff. And I would say like what runs my bedroom experience is more like predator prey or like rape play.
Oh, wait, describe predator prey. Like, is he chasing you around the house with a knife or some shit? I'm trying to figure. I just watched Predator for the first time, the movie. So
I would love. No, that would be.
It's
really
probably not
fun.
like that. You're not in the jungle.
No.
Come here, bitch.
I mean, it's gotta be like that kind of, right? Like,
I mean, that's like a huge fantasy. I would love to like be dropped off in the woods,
And then get fucked.
have no idea where I am. You have a 5-minute head start, go. And if I catch you, it's not going to be fun. That's like a huge fantasy of mine.
wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting, because it's like the question kind of becomes like, how much of your day or how much time do you feel comfortable devoting to this? Because like for me, if I was gonna go off into the woods with my girl, it's like we gotta schedule that. I don't know if I really want to take all Saturday afternoon to just like get a nut off in a complicated way. Yeah. Is that a realistic concern? Like, if you schedule out time for it?
I think the more and more that I get into business and that I get into like actual adult life, it does become a little bit more complicated. But I think that, you know, it's kind of like a vacation. You got to make time for it, you know?
That's crazy.
Yeah. But
true.
like back to the dog stuff. Yeah, I kind of like found out that this was a thing that people enjoy at a convention, and I explored it, and it was able to wrap up my feelings of intimacy and love and so perfectly that I don't think that like I could never be with someone who didn't, you know, value that.
Interesting. Yeah. Is it hard to find? Do you mostly like meet people through that world? Like, do you feel like if you just go to a regular bar, it's just like no chance that you're gonna find somebody who's on your level sexually?
I think for me, it's a little bit easier when it like certain aspects of it, but definitely like for the level of like play that I like, I'm pretty limited to like the kink world. And I mean, like I could like slow it down for myself and like, you know, but then there's, you know, those issues of like not being satisfied and feeling some sort of way about it, and then like taking it out on them.
Most women I've slept with in my life have left with that sort of feeling, not satisfied. Like, fuck,
Like, you just got your real quick
you
nut
nutted
out.
and I didn't. This sucks. So like, gotta go. See ya.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So
But when you get drunk, do you like act like a dog?
Just come
Like a drunk dog? In the hood, would be giving the dogs beer.
he knows exactly what a drunk dog is like.
It definitely comes out a little bit more because your inhibitions come down, and you
You
just
don't
like
give a
have fun.
fuck?
Yeah, you just kind of have fun and stuff. Yeah.
Do you ever like, have you ever met a guy in a totally random scenario and just sort of brought him home, and then like slowly this starts to become clear to him of like, oh, this girl's into all kinds of shit that I don't know about? Is that your style? Has that ever happened?
I mean, kind of like beginning like my career into like the kink world and stuff, it was kind of very obvious that like I need to be very upfront and clear if that's an expectation that I have. You know, if I have the expectation of wanting to do these sort of things, I need to be very upfront and honest about that. And if they're not down, that's totally fine.
So one night stands are rare.
Yeah, I'm not really like, I like more like intimacy and that sort of stuff. But definitely whenever I was younger, like I didn't care, like whatever. I was like, a wild child and just
figuring
like
stuff out.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah. So like if I'm expecting that sort of stuff, and if I'm expecting, any sort of like relationship to grow or whatever, I'm very upfront and honest. Like the first time that I met Lorenzo, I told him, I was like, hey, I'm into dog stuff, like whatever. And he's like, oh, cool.
As he plays with a
And then-
tennis ball.
Yeah.
And then you like walked there? How was it the first time you walked there?
They can't hear him for the record. You guys always do this. Always talk to people off camera. As
I
if
just
we're
want to
gonna
know
be
how
able
was
to
it the first time you
hear.
walked
I mean,
there?
if he were to come over and take the mic, I don't know if he wants to be on camera.
Yeah, come on.
wanna know?
I want,
Okay.
yeah, but I want to know the first time you walked there, bro.
Puts down his leash.
It's just a habit now.
Yeah, so the first time we met was at my birthday party at a strip club. And yeah, she said, I have a leash and chain in my locker. Do you want to walk me? I'm like, yeah, sure. Like, fuck yeah. So she brings out her leash, and I end up walking her around the strip club.
Are people just throwing money at you guys?
Throwing ones, just taking photos, videos, like what the fuck is going on?
And had you ever thought of this before?
No, I've never even owned a dog before, so.
You're on a meta human now.
Amazing.
That's crazy.
I respect that. He answered the question and he dipped out.
Yeah.
But okay, so the question for me though is, when did you decide like, okay, I'm gonna sort of create like a social media brand and start trying to like monetize this thing that clearly was just something that you were just doing. It's not like I know so many girls in the porn world who they got all kinds of fetishes in porn. Like every girl in porn is a lesbian. Yeah. Probably none of them, or a relatively small percentage are really into it. But it's just kind of like part of the job. Like when did you decide like, oh, I'm gonna actually start putting this shit on display for the world to see?
So I did OnlyFans for a couple years as a hobby, like while I was working.
And it was just sex stuff?
Yeah, like very vanilla, very plain, and
Because you thought that was what people wanted to see.
Exactly. And I was like pretty close friends with like a porn producer in like one of the Carolinas. And I kind of asked his advice about it. And I thought about going into traditional porn because I kind of wanted to see more like different fetish stuff. I kind of wanted to make the content that I wanted to see. And he was like, no, you need to stick with vanilla stuff for like as long as you can, and then you can branch out, which never really made sense to me because if I'm doing just like very plain Jane vanilla stuff, one, it's super oversaturated,
Yeah.
But also if I do happen to grow an audience from that,
They're
and
not
then
gonna
I
wanna
try
see
to,
that, yeah.
then that's what they're into, and they're not gonna want to see, me tainted or whatever they would think, like I didn't understand that, like whatever, but I met Lorenzo, and he actually really gave me the confidence to be able to kind of like really put myself out there and kind of monetize it, because I was doing it for fun and I was doing it in my free time, and I was already doing OnlyFans, but I was just kind of keeping it separate. And he was like, let's do this. Like, this is such a good opportunity for you to do something that you love, and hey, maybe something will come of it, and I'm just having fun. So what's
Right.
the harm in it,
And I mean, that whole logic of like, oh, you should just do the vanilla shit is because like, okay, that's the most mass market thing. The cool thing about OnlyFans is you could like grow a personal brand and create a little cult of people who want to see a very specific thing. That was the problem in the porn world for a long time. I had people tell me like for instance, like there's very little like black porn, like black dude, black girl. And I'm like, why is that? And they're like, it's just not the most popular genre. Like people search for other things. So as a result, that specific
Yeah.
scenario is super underrepresented, and I don't know how much that's necessarily really changed with OnlyFans, but I would assume that problem is getting better because it's like people are just able to make stuff that appeals directly to what they want to put out there.
I think that that's a really good point, and I definitely have thought about that before. But also, I don't think that these companies they understand that if you appeal to a super niche amount of people, even though it's super niche, there's millions of people who are willing to pay because they can't find it anywhere. So if you are able to tap into that sort of market and be able to do it well, you have millions and millions of dollars at your fingertips.
I agree.
So I never understood that. And so whenever I was very comfortable in being able to do this. And plus, a huge part of it is that I never see female pups. And there's no gear for us. It's just now starting to kind of be there. It's all for men because it's dominated by, men, whatever. And I guess that's kind of the same thing, that's the market, that's who's buying it. And there's, it's always the same gear that I see. It's always neoprene hoods and, like super kind of like masculine stuff. And, like I necessarily don't want that. So, I want to put out there in the world that, hey, there is a market for it. And I've met wonderful lady pups, like I've met great girls and, that are like, yes, like I love what you're doing. Like we're not seen. And, so yeah, that's another reason.
Interesting. So would you say do you feel like you've been very successful on OnlyFans? Like you are making a very significant living off of it?
Definitely anything that I've experienced before. My page is only, I only started doing it full time like last June.
Okay.
So June of 2020. And before the year was over, like before the year of my like anniversary, I made over $1 million
In a year.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So I would like to say that it was it was pretty
God
successful.
damn, I'm about to
yeah.
start barking the fuck out my sick. That is crazy.
Wow, I would just have not thought that like that fetish would be the like 6 figures a month area because that's
Yeah.
like realistically, I know a shitload of OnlyFans girls, and that's kind of like the upper tier. That's like the wall is like making $1 million a year. So, and I was thinking like that it would not be that big, but that's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, like I was saying, like if you have a specialty and you do it super well, there are tons and tons and tons of people, and I get like messages and stuff every day where it's like, I didn't even know that this was my thing, but like this is my thing now. Thank you.
Wow.
And so that's really fun to do. And
How do you go about promoting it? Since obviously I'm assuming like social media platforms are not necessarily eager to platform this kind of stuff.
it's extremely hard. I don't do any sort of like on so I've had like a couple different TikToks that have gone to like 300,000 and then shut down. I had a
Many porn girls have this issue on TikTok now.
and
Everywhere, not
and
even just TikTok, Instagram.
I've had tons of pages go down. I finally got one of my pages back after 8 months of fighting it. It wasn't my biggest account. Like it was only like a couple months old. But I was able to grow it from 0 to 100K in less than 30 days. So like, it was a great account for me, super engaging. And then it was just like ripped away. And I don't do anything that's like super sexual on there because that's not what I don't want to necessarily promote that, because the more skin that you show, like there's a less and less of a reason to go and I want to put the dog stuff forward, and those people who are interested, they will find my stuff. So it's been extremely hard, and it's all the times that I've been banned or that I've been restricted or all of that, it's super discouraging, like super discouraging, and it makes me like not want to make content anymore. But that drive to do that is a little too strong. So I, just pick yourself back up and kind of do that.
And you still have your OnlyFans community, but then at the same time, it's like you just, it sucks because somebody might unsubscribe for a couple months and then want to re-find you, and then the fucking Instagram account's gone. It sucks.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's definitely a struggle. But the way that we market it is we do it kind of by trolling people. So we make these like outlandish videos, and they're so much fun to do, you know, and we kind of get people kind of riled up, and then there's a percentage of those people who, you know, come and find my page and see my OnlyFans and they're like, oh shit.
So you try to like stoke some controversy, get some people sort of pissed off, and then people appreciate it as well?
So whenever I first started doing it, that wasn't my intention, but kind of the byproduct of that is like, people were outraged. Like, why are you like people like daily would get messages like, you fucking retard, like what are you doing and all that stuff. And I find it so funny because it's like, okay bro, like it's not that serious. I'm just trolling you. You know, I'm just like having a good time. Like I'm not hurting anybody. I'm not doing anything bad. I cannot believe that you're so upset over this. And so that, I just find it so funny. So I just kept doing it, and people love it and hate it. So
Wow.
Yeah.
What a world we live in.
I did so we hired a fake cop that's been in a couple of his videos and stuff. And
he acts like a dog too?
No, he's a cop.
like he's a cop.
What an assumption.
He
We hired a fake cop and had the cop act like a dog.
Well, he's a content creator as well. He does like YouTube and stuff like that.
Oh, okay, fine.
Yeah, so he does like, we had like a fake SWAT thing in the house when like a whole bunch of people were over, and you know, so we know this guy, so we were like, hey, can we borrow you and like do a canine video? Like me in the back of the police car, you know, jumping out and like grabbing a hold of like the big sack, you know, that protects the arm.
For training and shit.
Yeah, and so we did a photo shoot, like a video with that, and I posted that on Twitter. That was a mistake.
Why?
People were so mad. They was like thinking
Like
that I was
police
like,
officers?
yes, they was like, you're making a political statement. And I'm like, I'm literally acting like a dog. I don't understand.
Like it has to be some defund the police ass shit.
They were like, oh,
But
like
how much
all cops are bastards. Like all canines should be euthanized. Like you should kill them all. I was like, whoa.
Wait, there's anti-dog people out there?
I guess. Like cop dogs. Like, okay, bro, like chill out.
Has PETA been after you?
No, but that's a goal. I would love that.
Okay, yeah.
But there's no animals involved, right?
Yeah, there's no animals involved.
Yeah, but I was like,
that would be pretty good.
Do you think
though.
people assume that you're also into bestiality?
Yes, a lot of people do.
that's exactly what
I just received something on. This is like the biggest question that I get is that, oh, like, do you do stuff with dogs? For the record, no.
Because that's actually how I met Duno, is he was eating a dog's ass.
That's not how he met me.
No, okay.
We are friends. Yes.
You and the dog?
Yeah.
I'm for sure. First of all, I think I've had like 2 dogs in my life, and they lasted like a month because we lived in an apartment, and they were like, yeah, you gotta get rid of it.
You were probably dog fighting them.
No.
No, I wasn't dog fighting my dog, fool.
Oh.
Wait, so I just got this message on Instagram. Hey, my dog really likes to fuck babes like you. Do you have a meeting? Like, do you want to have a meeting with us in a forest and like fuck your pussy? Yeah, so like I get messages like that.
Oh my God.
And I am like, I hate zoos. I hate it. It's so disgusting because like people think that I'm like promoting that, but I'm like, okay, I'm a human. And it's very clear that I'm a human.
When you
and
said
like,
I hate zoos, you mean zoophiles?
like zoophile,
people, okay,
yeah,
people
like
who want to fuck dogs.
Yeah,
okay.
it's absolutely disgusting. I mean,
Oh,
like,
I thought she meant like
Me
seeing,
too.
like,
At first, and then I'm like, wait a
damn, you
minute.
don't like going to go see the monkeys and the elephants and shit? I'm like, God damn.
no, I hate zoophiles. They're like, I don't know. I think that you have to be some sort of like also pedophile to be able to be into that, because like real animals have the intellect of like maybe like a 3-year-old, maybe.
Right. Yeah.
You know, so it's like, like that's kind of sus, dude. Like I don't know. I hate it. It's disgusting.
Oh, God.
So people like. Even like my OnlyFans messages and stuff, they're like, hey, like, have you ever been knotted? And I'm like, that's gross.
What is that?
It's like being fucked by a dog.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
There's a word for it?
Yeah.
There's all kinds. I'm learning so many words.
There's there's actually like it's a big problem, and it's disgusting.
Wow.
Yeah, well, you go to jail for that. You don't go to jail for acting like a dog, but you go to jail for bestiality for sure.
Do you? Do people like actively go to jail? I know it's illegal technically, but does anyone really get caught?
No, like it. No, I mean, like I think technically you could, but it is so
No.
hard.
Yeah, no. You for sure could
It
go to
is
jail.
so hard.
Yeah.
I think like I think it's like if you have video of you doing it, and even then, there's this girl. So there was like a whole like furry controversy a couple years ago, where like it was like a zoo sadist group that I followed, and it like not I followed the controversy or whatever, and there was people's faces, people's videos, chat logs, and there was this one girl on this like bestiality forum that had videos of her assaulting her dog. Said that she did it. It's illegal in the place that she did it, and nothing ever happened. I think one or two of the people got arrested, but that was on like pedophile stuff. Like he was like hurting his nephew or something.
Oh, like unrelated.
Yeah,
to
so it was unrelated.
Wow.
So it is so hard, and I think it's so disgusting because, like I was saying earlier, like these animals are like they can't take care of they can't speak, they can't take care of themselves, they can't advocate for themselves. So like the most horrendous shit could happen to them, and no one will ever know.
Nobody.
It's so sad.
Help the animals.
Realistically,
Yeah.
the cops like I've listened to some podcasts and stuff about how big the child porn problem is. It is so big, and the cops are basically like powerless to really do much about it because it is so big. Think about how much worse it is with animals, because obviously if you're gonna like rank things to deal with, you're gonna deal with humans before animals, and then with the animals, it's like you're never gonna have a victim that could tell you what happened. If you're not a complete fucking idiot, you're gonna
it's not like-
probably
yeah. I
it'd be
get
pretty
what-
goddamn easy to hide this from the world. You know, think about how
I just like the story that brings me the most like solace is like the Mr. Hands thing. Mr. Hands was this guy that made like zoo porn, and
right. They did a documentary about him, right?
Yeah,
I can't
like
believe there's a name for it. Like that's
There's names
crazy.
for everything,
Yeah.
you know.
No, I know.
And on this
yeah,
podcast,
but
you're gonna
that
learn them all.
But yeah, there's like a huge like it's an issue, and like I didn't really know about that until I like started following that like zoo sadist group. I was like, oh, like this is actually like a thing. Like you like like I've never heard of it before or whatever, but I guess they keep it under lock and key.
Right.
I don't know. It's disgusting. I hate it. So no, please just stop asking me to fuck dogs.
Well, I'm glad we cleared that up, because that
won't.
question was sort of stirring around in my brain the whole
She's
the
not
podcast.
fucking dogs.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, good. I'm just glad
Fucking
you're
Lorenzo.
on the right side of history. There's a lot of people who argue though that like the dog, like it's not non-consensual with the dog.
Fool,
that the
no.
dog like wants to do this, right?
I don't know.
I've
I
like
don't
read
think
people
so.
basically like making that argument, only in the context of like people like roasting them for making that argument. But I have
Yeah,
read
but
that.
I mean, again, like maybe they, their animal instincts, like their animal instincts, like kick in or whatever. But, bro, they're still children.
Yeah.
They still have like the mind of a 2-year-old. And,
My
like,
cat is not ready to fuck, and he's 17.
Cat's 17.
Yeah, and he's not.
Cats are whores. Hood cats are whores.
Not. Yeah, he probably was pretty bad before I got my hands on him. Pause. Okay. Are we gonna pull up the OnlyFans? We can get like a sample for the audience of exactly what kind of content is out there. She's probably the most popular OnlyFans person that we've had on. If you're doing
Really?
that well, this is only like the third episode.
You
and,
made me not feel so weird about the dog shit, for real. You justified it very well.
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Wait, what's going on in the video right there?
I got stuck. I was trying to get my ball out from underneath the bed. I got stuck.
Dude,
Help
why
me.
is this shit so popular? The stuck porn.
I don't know, but
You
I
remember the
love
stuck
it.
point with Lana?
No, but I've heard all about this where like a girl will be like halfway stuck in a
At the
laundry
washing
machine.
machine?
Yeah.
I think it has something to do with like people's rape fantasies, to be honest.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I think it's a light rape porn.
Wow. I'm just a happy dog.
Yeah, I do a lot of like TikToks, like imitating dogs and stuff. But I do it mostly for like
Play this video. I want to see what happens in this video.
this one.
Oh, we're just looking around. Hey.
Bad girl. You know better than that.
Damn, you look pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, thanks.
Is she considered a pog?
What does that technically mean? Fat ass white girl?
Fat is not with a P.
Yeah, but it is if it's meant to be in a good way.
Is it fat ass white girl? I thought it was pretty ass white girl.
God damn.
Hold on, if I want to see her bark.
This actually makes me really
I
happy
have-
too, because I feel like so many girls, their OnlyFans, they don't show shit on the feed.
Yeah.
Only in the DMs.
I feel so like
Bad?
that's like I was in the snow.
Wait, did you pee?
Yeah,
Nice.
I peed outside.
Is that something that you're real like? Do you get a lot of enjoyment out of doing the public peeing? Well, not public. I mean, just in
Yeah.
the
Marking your
backyard, right?
territory.
That's what we call it. Yeah, it's super fun. And I don't remember how I found out I think someone asked me to pee on them one time, like I don't know, someone, and I was like, oh man, I really like this. I was like, but I want to get peed on. It's like that dominance thing again. So yeah, I like it.
I love how you're sort of like flexing the pee hole in the ground, because
Yeah.
that's one thing I've always liked my whole life is like peeing outside in the snow, is like just peeing on the snow and watching it melt away. Maybe I could be into that.
Yeah, it's fun.
That's like for people that grew up where it snows.
Yeah, you don't understand.
Yeah,
You would
I
never
don't
get
understand. I
it.
live. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't. Can we see one of her barking?
more like dog style behavior. That's what you're out for. Yeah?
Yeah, I want to see her. I want to see her in character. Oh, sorry, like it's a lifestyle. I want to see.
I don't think that one has.
Fuck. Do you have a different name for as when you're a dog?
No, it's just Jenna.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that dog trick.
Isn't that great?
What kind of stuff are you sending in the DMs? Like the feed is like one thing, and then the DMs are kind of like the next level, right?
I do full nudity on like my OnlyFans, like because you're already paying, like you definitely should be getting something. In the DMs, I do kind of more of like the hardcore stuff. I've done like collabs with other girls before.
Okay.
One of like and I'll send those, and
Oh,
then
look at
like
her.
kind of
Who's
like
that?
that's One Trick Pony.
Okay.
She is absolutely amazing. We did a really hard scene.
Click play on that right now, Josh.
Hold on. When she said one trick pony, I thought like what she was doing was called the one trick pony.
Oh, what? One Trick Pony got a pony dick? Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to blur this for the Patreon, but damn, she looked pretty good. You two
She's
together, look at this.
amazing. She just moved to LA. She's doing great. I love her so much. She's like, she's
Is she a
perfect.
pony fetishist or something along those lines? Is she like to ponies what you are to dogs?
No, I think that I think she does a whole bunch of stuff.
Okay.
But when I asked her to do like we did like a couple like TikToks and stuff together where I asked her to act like a dog. I don't like collabing with people because they kind of like, I don't feel weird about it. Like they don't want to act like a dog ever, which is totally fine. Like if that's not your thing, obviously. But she was so down. She went all out. She's amazing.
Yeah, because I was honestly just thinking about that with my girl. I'm like, I don't think if my girl worked with you, like I can't imagine her being able to get into the dog mentality and like really go
Yeah.
for it. I think she would be a
But-
little too self-conscious
Yeah,
or something.
but so the thing is, I want to find other like puppy girls to like make content with. It's just kind of hard to like find people that are super cool and kind of fit like the aesthetic, and then also like are puppies too.
Right.
But in situations like that, like if I were to do another collab, I definitely like that.
Josh, you can stop scrolling. You're already back in April. I feel bad for you. You're spoiling the whole movie. God damn.
We like something that I really want to do is like a girl owner and like a punishment scene, or like kind of bring my other interests into it a little bit more.
Right.
Like obedience training would be really fun, and that's kind of like it appeals to like that domination submissive type of thing. And then like impact, I would love to do an impact scene where it was like like maybe I got really, I got into some trouble, like I got into the trash, and or like like a girl like domination sort of thing.
Wow. Do you have a playlist for when you are having sex? And is it like number one, who brought the dogs out? No? I'm sorry. I'm sure you heard this joke before.
But can we hear you bark?
Doggy style in
Doggy.
its entirety. Shout out Snoop Dogg.
Shout out Snoop Dogg.
Is he an icon in the dog play community? Imagine if he showed
yes.
up at a fucking convention or something, bro. They would never stop talking about it.
Yeah, that fool came and supported the dogs.
Yeah.
That would be super fun. Oh my goodness.
Fuck, can we hear you bark?
Yeah, I'll like back it up a little bit. So.
Oh, okay. She's
Not
gonna
like-
really go for it.
Oh, yeah.
Her crazy eyes come out so hard. As soon as she starts barking, you see how much she likes barking more than. No,
I
she
have
doesn't have rabies. How dare you?
I do want to do a video like that one day, where I have like rabies and I like bite someone.
That was a very good impression.
You got really
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my
Like
god.
maybe I'll do like that one in public and like, you know, go up to people. Like if I ever do want to like, you know, troll someone really hard or something.
Does Lorenzo appear on the OnlyFans?
So we've thought about doing boy girl stuff. He's like his like hands and feet or whatever, his voice and stuff is in it. We've thought about doing boy girl stuff, but I don't know. I don't have any plans to right now, but maybe in the future, like maybe that is something that I will want to do. I just feel like when you set that expectation, then you have to keep meeting that. And that's not necessarily what I want to do right now.
That is a good point too. I say that to girls frequently where it's like, you know, Avocado thought he was asking me like, oh, do you think I should do guy girl stuff on my OnlyFans? I'm thinking like, you're 20. You got plenty of fucking time. Like if you want to fucking just do the naked shit for the next couple years and then do it, like that probably would make more sense than just blowing out everything right now.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Like I wouldn't want to like, I don't know. I think like that build up is also so exciting, you know, like especially
true.
like, I mean, like Belle Delphine did it so smart.
Really?
And yeah, like I think that she did it really smart. She like did it for years. She started out just as like a fantasy and then she dropped the OnlyFans. It did super well. And then she kind of like led it on and on and on and on. And then she did, and she only did it because she was like, yeah, I was ready. And like, it seemed really fun and I really enjoy it now. So
I'm not gonna lie. I watched Belle Delphine suck a dick on Twitter.
yeah.
I was satisfied with it. I also sat next to her at the Pornhub Awards. You have no idea what we're talking about, but
Really?
that was cool.
Yeah, she follows me on Twitter. We've talked a couple times. She seems like a really sweet girl.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
What a world, man. I feel like I've actually learned a lot today.
I learned a lot. I learned a lot. This dog shit is crazy.
I really want to. Let me ask you this.
But do you own a dog?
I want to, but no.
Let me ask you this. What if a certain podcast co-host were to be interested in walking you on a leash? Would you be open to that? Because I personally think that would be a really great experience for Duno to have.
I don't know. I think you have to ask my owner very nicely.
Ah, so weird. Can you want to ask him for me, Adam, and then I'll just walk her?
How you feel about Duno walking around the leash for a little bit for the camera? Yeah! Trev, or Blank? We'll edit that. This is because you might like this more than you think you're gonna like it. You might actually.
It's cool. I just feel like you have to be very dedicated, and I'm very dedicated to my.
This is really what you're getting paid for sure.
I also have like a water bowl with water and like.
Oh, amazing! Yes,
I have treats and like a rope ball.
I love this.
I think
yes.
Josh really. I think you really like it.
I mean, I'm starting to think maybe yeah. Do we have like a separate way to get audio? Because none of those cameras have the mic on it, right?
Be loud as fuck.
That's all right. If you're
Should
gonna
I walk
bark.
her around this table real quick?
Just I mean, whatever you guys want to do over here.
Oh, here. Well, fool, I've never walked a human before.
Well, today's your day, friend.
Have you ever watched a dog?
Yeah, fool, but
It's the same
I
thing.
promise you it's not the same. Okay.
You gotta keep a good grip.
Okay, good girl.
Yeah.
She's okay. The leash isn't even long enough.
Well, you're gonna have to make do, my friend.
And when I pour the water, how do I get it? Josh, fuck you. Would you like some water? Are you getting this?
You're in the worst possible shit.
Well,
Like, it's
fool
like
you.
you've never even thought about what a camera does.
Okay, there we go. That's
okay.
okay. This is perfect right here.
Yeah, sure. I mean, she might want to like face the camera a tiny bit more. Maybe if you scoot it that way.
Okay, maybe this. Oh, I don't think it moves as much. Okay, there we go. That's better. Oh yeah, I'm a dog on there. All right.
It's better this way.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, what dogs don't have that issue.
I'm gonna just step to the side so I can just let you guys do your thing.
Now put the ball on the floor.
How do you feed a dog, man?
On the floor, okay. Fool, chill, fool. Don't lick the bowl while I'm pouring water. You gotta behave. No, sis. Stay. Okay, go.
What is happening right now?
That is crazy. Okay. Back. Sit, stay, and then the rest of you got her now. Good dog.
Wait, so she did a good job, so you gotta give her one of those.
Oh, okay. If I do I put it on her nose or do I toss it up? Like, how do I do it the cool way?
Whatever you want to do, just try to make sure the
All right,
camera
okay,
can
would
see
you
it.
catch it? Oh, yeah,
I can try.
okay, ready? Oh, we missed. But, here you go. Good girl. calling my mom out this.
Be honest. Were you turned on by that at all? I thought it was kind of hot.
It was cool. She for sure is. I'm pretty sure, like, you could tell she's dedicated, which is cool. I feel like if you love something,
She just, you could feel, she felt like she had really, like, that was her in her element right there.
Yeah,
like, you
for
could
sure.
just see it in her eyes that she was feeling it. Like, this is not bullshit.
Yeah, I'm when I was like when I owned the dog at least, I was very much like always like, come on, fucker, piece of shit. Like always on some cool shit. Obviously, I wasn't like kicking my dog and shit. I was
You gotta
like,
be nice to the dogs, man.
no, I was nice to him. Like he my little brother. I was like 14, 15 with a dog, and I was like, come on, fucker, let's go run, or like we'll play fight and shit. You feel me?
Right.
I'm pretty sure, it's, like, you feel me? Play fighters and shit, just bow, bow,
Look,
bow.
you're talking all crazy and stuff because you like that so much.
No, I fuck with dogs. She did a great job being
He's gonna DM you and ask you to help him be ushered into this community. I can feel it.
into the pub world.
You're fucking Clifford the Big Red Dog, as far as I'm concerned.
I'm Clifford the Hood Dog. That was crazy though. That was different.
Yeah, so I think the immediate appeal,
Do you think people like get fetish off you finishing the bowl?
finishing it,
Like you know how like you drank some of the water? Do you think people get a fetish of that?
yeah, so there's a lot of different things. So there's the degrading part of me on my hands and knees drinking from a bowl.
Okay.
There's one. Then there's that power control of someone giving me water. Like that's like they're giving it to me and I'm, like that's a power exchange right there. And then there's also like people have like I guess like drinking, like stuff like that, like eating and drinking, that's another thing. And then there's also like the mouth movements and the kind of submissiveness of it. So there's a lot of things that you can unpack there.
And I'm pretty sure it's tiring being a dog without the little
The little pants.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it gets a little tiring, but it's so much fun though. Like, and like dogs don't pant all the time, so you kind of
Facts.
just like lay down.
That was crazy.
One of the funniest things is when we were first living together in a condo, I had a dog bed right next to his desk, and I would just go into it and he would be working and I would be sleeping in the dog bed. And like people would come over and I'd be just like asleep in this bed and people would be like, what the fuck? They're like, wait, is this real? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, yeah, just kind of be quiet. Like, don't wake her up.
She's really about that life. This ain't
Yeah.
no cap in her rap, bro.
Not at all, bro. And is that real dog treats or is like
Yeah. You want to bring them?
Oh, so they don't really taste too bad?
No. I eat the old.
fucking you got used to it?
I've
They,
heard.
they
Gives him the tennis ball.
they
I feel like me throwing her the tennis ball is like a little over the line. Like my girl might be like, oh,
What do you mean?
because that's like me fucking my girl. I mean, maybe not, but like sort of.
I promise you is
I'm not gonna get some head from another girl, so I'm not gonna throw her a tennis ball either. Because I know she likes that shit.
Respect.
You know? No, but I like the fucking respect that you guys had because he gave you a little smooch as soon as he was done there, just to like, is that like a turn on to you that you like the reassurance that you could do some weird ass shit, but then he's still gonna love you.
They're fucking still human. Yes,
Yeah.
I am very motivated by praise. I'm I love being told like, you did really good. You're such a good girl. Like, like all that praise and hype. Like I'm extremely motivated.
Is
by
it
that.
ever like too much where like he threw it too far and you're like on 4 just going crazy?
Sometimes, you gotta take a break. But he's pretty, look at him laughing over
Launches
there.
a ball across the park.
Yeah, usually that
Confuse her.
happens. Yeah,
If you can't find us, you're like, running around.
Squirrel.
Usually that's more of like people who are like friends or stuff that like are in videos or whatever, and they throw it a little too far, and I'm like, man, making me work.
That is crazy.
Thank you so much for your time.
Man, that was
Can you tell the people out there where your Instagram and OnlyFans are? Like, we'll link them in the description, but
Yeah.
maybe just so the editor has an easy time with us.
Yeah, I have so many new accounts, so I need to get the name. So my Instagram is Puppy Girl Jenna Official, and I believe that my Twitter is just Puppy Girl Jenna. And then if you go to puppygirljenna.com, you'll be able to find my website.
It's not even like my fetish, but I'm already like pissed off because I kind of like assume that maybe the story clip that I just put up with you with her on the leash might get deleted, even though like what like how does that go against the terms of service? I don't think it does at all, but I still feel like they're probably gonna fucking get me.
It's so ridiculous, and it's so hard because like I literally like I don't do any sort of like nudity thing. Oh, TikTok, the first time that they deleted my account, so we had like the pop-up that said that your account was deleted, and then we were like, oh damn. And then the next pop-up after we closed it was a new TOS update. And the only thing that changed was that they were not allowing any fetish or kink.
Wow.
And so I feel I may have had a little bit of a role in that.
Oh, so you're the one that created the.
But
Kind of
man,
weird shit
they're
on
so
TikTok.
brutal with it. Like Riley Reid, like her fucking TikTok got taken down, and I swear she like barely did anything sexy. She was wearing an avocado costume. She's just doing goofy shit, and somehow they still got her. I don't know.
That's basically what I do on my social media is I just act goofy. I just act like a dog, and I'm just like acting wild and weird and stuff. I don't do like anything sexual. And they just like do not care. We don't even put OnlyFans in anything. Like we don't write it on anything. We don't link it anywhere. We link my website, which redirects, but like we use OnlyPause instead of OnlyFans.
That's smart.
Yeah.
What a world.
What a fucking world.
What a world. We learned so much today. I feel like some significant portion of the No Jumper staff's probably going to be signing up for the OnlyFans. I don't know. I think all of y'all might be suspect dog lovers.
Make
Easy.
sure you don't fuck your dogs, weirdos.
Yeah, that's a good point. Thank you, Duno, for that,
course.
that warning. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of
it was
course.
super
Thank you.
educational. We got to go take a photo. We got to put the leash back on and go get a photo,
Yeah.
right? Because that'll blow up on Instagram. That'll be so good.
Why don't you guys have regular size tennis balls?
Because they can't fit in my mouth.
Oh, okay, I was just
That's TMJ, dickhead.
That's what I was
Yeah.
thinking. I love this. That's crazy how you eat these.
What a great job.
Yeah, they don't have any like meat. I try to stay away from the ones with meat in them just because I know that like it's probably not the highest quality stuff.
Yeah, like the standards for animals that animals can eat are probably different than
Your
humans.
dog, pretty good water.
Yeah.
Fiji vibes.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks.
Jenna, No Jumper, coolest Patreon in the world. Appreciate everybody out there. Thank you so much. Pow.